प्रियोरधारिणि श्रीराधे। नव नवरङ्गी नवलत्रिभङ्गी श्यामसुवङ्गी श्रीकृष्ण। जय राधे जय राधे राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे। जय कृष्णा कृष्णा, जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्ण। राध प्यारी रूप उजारी अति सुकुमारी श्री राधे। मन मनोहर महामोदकर सुंदर वरतर श्री कृष्ण। प्राण प्यारी रूप उजारी अति सुकुमारी श्री राधे। नैन मनोहर महामोदकर सुंदर वरतर श्री कृष्ण। शोभाश्रीनि मोहमयिनि कोकिलवेणि श्री राधे। कीर्तिवन्त कामिनीकान्त श्री भगवन्त श्री कृष्ण। शोभाश्रेणी मोहमयिनि कोकुलवेणि श्री राधे। कीर्तिवान्त कामिनीकान्त श्री भगवन्त श्री कृष्ण। चन्द्रवदनी कुण्डरदनी शोभसदनी श्री राधे। परमौदारा प्रभापारा अतिसुकुमार श्री कृष्ण। चण्डवदनी कुण्डरदनी शोभसदनी श्री राधे। परमौदारा प्रभापार अतिसुकुमार श्री कृष्ण। जय राधे जय राधे राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे। जय कृष्ण कृष्ण, जय कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण। हंसगमनी राजतरमणि प्रेमकामिनी श्री राधे। रूपरसाला नयन विशाला परम कृपाला श्री कृष्ण। हंसगमनी राजतरमणि प्रेमकामिनी श्री राधे। रूपरसाला नयन विशाला परम कृपाल श्री कृष्ण। कंचन बेली रतिबसरेली अतियल बेली श्री राधे। सब सुख सागर सब गुणागर रूप उजागर श्री कृष्ण। कंचन बेली रतिरसरेली रतियल बेली श्री राधे। सब सुख सागर सब गुणागर रूप उजागर श्री कृष्ण। रम्य रम्या तरुतरतम्या गुणागम्य श्री राधे। धाम निवासी प्रभा प्रकाशी सहज सुहासी श्री कृष्ण। रमणी रम्या तरतुरतम्या गुणागम्या श्री राधे। धाम निवासी प्रभा प्रकाशी सहज सुहासी श्री कृष्ण। शक्त्या फलदायिनी अतिप्रियवादिनी पुरोन्मादिनी श्री राधे। अंग अंग टोना सरस सलोना सुभग सुथोना श्री कृष्ण। शक्त्यालादिनी अतिप्रियवादिनी पुरोन्मादिनी श्री राधे। अंग अंग टोना सरस सलोना सुभग सुथोना श्री कृष्ण। रामनामिनी गुण अभिरामने हरिप्रिय स्वामिने श्री राधे। हरि हर हरे हर 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 हरि हर 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 हरि हर श्री कृष्ण। राम नामनि गुणाभिरामनि हरिप्रिय स्वामिनि श्री राधे। हरि हर हरि हर हरि हर हरि हर हरि हर हरि हर श्री कृष्ण। जय राधे जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे। जय कृष्ण 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 जय कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण। जय श्री राधे श्री हरे कृष्ण। Thank you, Prabhuji, for the seva. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, shall I do the Mangalacharan?
Yes, yes.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I'll just share my screen too. One second. I'll just put my headset.
Hare Krishna. Is my voice is good, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Charu Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandapada. Hare Krishna. Sir Prabhu Dandapada. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Okay, I'll try to do the recap. Yesterday's wonderful session from Achina Mataji. Okay. So, at a high level, I think I have around 40 minutes or so. Okay, I'll try to finish as early as possible. Hare Krishna. This particular lesson, whatever we have seen, the chapter 54, we have seen total 4 modules. The first module is Krishna defeated the inimical kings, okay, and then taken the Rukmini. And then the second module is being described that the Krishna is disfigured Rukmini's envious brother, Rukmini's envious brother, that is Rukmini. That is what we have seen in the second module. And the third module is the Balarama reproached Krishna for acting improperly against Rukmini and pacified Rukmini through his spiritual instructions. That is what we have seen, third section. And the fourth section is actual marriage and the celebrations happen in Dwarka. Hare Krishna. Let's move to the next slide. Second. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. So the first and foremost thing which is striking yesterday is the divine protection and confidence. Okay. I'll try to summarize through simple words and simple examples. Okay. The first theme, okay, of the first section, okay, of this theme is here. One of the strikest factor, okay, yesterday is like Krishna is telling, this is your army, okay, Yadava's army, okay, he's been calling it as your army, okay, that is to Rukmini. See, like if I just recollect myself, like most of the time.
Prabhuji, your voice is a bit slow.
Oh, is it?
Your voice is a bit slow.
Okay. I just removed my headset. Is this better?
Now it is okay. Now it is okay.
Oh, thank you. I removed my headset. Okay, I increased the volume as well to 100%. Hope this is better now. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay. So here Krishna says that the Yadava's army as your army. Okay. Most of the times when we are having conversations with our wife and that kind of situations, what happens is your family, your house, something like that we say. But here, even before marriage, okay, Krishna is saying that as it is your. Okay. Everything belongs to whatever belongs to Krishna is telling it as yours. Okay. Your army. So that is so striking for me actually, the yesterday conversation. So that itself is really great thing. Okay, that is what I summarize of divine protection and confidence. That is the divine protection and the Krishna gives the confidence when you really becomes a devotee for Krishna. Yeah, that is the theme one. And the theme two is the transience and material existence. Here, what happened is like the kings who opposite Krishna, who are those Jarasandha and his party, his alias. Okay, they have a great defeat. Okay, after defeat, they are continuously having a defeat. Okay, but okay, they are connected to the temporary material identifies. That is what they are connected. They are always willing to reflect the show how material attachment makes one's blind. That is what they are showing us, and how the external success means nothing when the spiritual insights is if it is really missing. That is what is second module is talking for us, and the third one is talking about the control of fate and time. This control of fate and time is through defeated. Okay, the enemy kings express the confidence that they are going to win at some point of time. Okay, they gather behind Jarasandha. Okay, and wait for more favorable moment to attack Krishna. That is what we have seen here. We are seeing. Okay, what they are thinking? They are thinking that that time, okay, will come under their control at some point of time. But they are not realizing that the Kala is in the form of Krishna. Kala is time, is in the control of Krishna. That is what they fail to realize. Yeah. So what is the summary for us is we trying to control the fate without accepting God's, okay, will definitely lead a failure for anybody. Okay. So time is a servant of Krishna. That is what we have to remember. The true success lies accepting the Krishna. Okay. And the time is under control of Krishna. That is what we have to accept. Hare Krishna. So that is what we've been covered in these three themes. So let us do a quick Q&A. What does defeat tell that Krishna's nature? What is the defeat? Jarasandha and everybody's defeat is telling all of us. What is that it is teaching us? Hope my voice is good now. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
very good. We can hear you better.
Yeah. So what is this?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी
Go ahead, Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा जरासंध ने सबको काउंसिल किया रुक्मी वगैरह को कि कोई बात नहीं इस बार ऐसा होता है मैं तो इतनी बार हारा हूँ 17 टाइम्स मैं हार गया था मगर अभी भी मुझे होप है कि एक बार तो मैं जीतूंगा ही जीतूंगा और एक बार तो मैं जीता था भले भगवान खुद भाग गए थे भगवान अपनी इच्छा से निकल गए थे मगर फिर उसको तो भी गलत फहमी हो गई कि मैं जीत गया था
Yes.
वैसे कह के उन्होंने सबको काउंसिल किया
Yes, great, Mataji. Wonderful, wonderful answer. So, Krishna ultimately he's saying that personally protects his devotees, okay, and destroys adharma. Okay, that is what is in nutshell summary, right, Mataji? Yeah. So no material power can stand against him. That is what we understood. Okay. So what is that confidence this is giving? This overall episode is giving to devotees. Okay. What kind of confidence it has given to Rukmini? In the same way, what kind of confidence it is giving to all the devotees from this particular episode, from these three themes? What can we understand?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So the very first divine protection and confidence. If you are working for Krishna, then Krishna will protect you.
Perfect.
No, so Rukmini prayed for Krishna's, Krishna to come and pick her up. So Krishna, she went through all that trouble, but eventually Krishna came. So this is what we see. Ultimately, Krishna will come and protect you.
Yes. This
And
protection
we
means-
need a perseverance. We need a dedication. We need all those things are required, and wait also time. It doesn't happen so quickly. For Rukmini also, she went through agonizing the 2 nights, right? Almost 2 nights and 1 day before Krishna appears.
Yes.
That's what we understand. Yes.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. So overall, we are getting the protection physically,
Prabhuji,
not
it is
physically,
also
spiritually also. Yeah.
Prabhuji, it is surrenderance, complete surrenderance
Yes.
unto divine.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on.
But
Um,
the very first step is faith. We first
Faith.
have to have faith.
Faith.
Then the
Yes,
other things
Prabhuji.
will develop.
Yes, thank you. So, how do the defeated kings respond to their losses? What is there in their mind? It is actually a very easy question. What is that they are thinking? Or how
Okay.
did they respond to their losses?
Yeah. So again, let me finish this so other can continue. So again, all the kings, you gave example, right? Jarasangha, they were thinking it's just karma only, it's a fate. So sometimes fate is in your favor, sometimes because of your past karma, sometimes fate is not even fair. So these are demonic kings, they will keep on believing that there will be one day for me also. So that is what their faith, because of your not knowing, there's a third component also. There's the Lord in a control. They don't understand that, and they believe. And Krishna also gives opportunity, right? And we just saw that Jarasangha was boldly saying that I won the battle 18th time, right? So we'll have we'll have our own time someday.
That is what they're thinking. Correct, Prabhu?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we are seeing that these kings are always continuously suffering. Okay, why do you think they are continuously suffering?
Because they are not surrendered to Lord.
Haribol. But that's it. That's a very simple, straight answer, Mataji. Because they don't surrender to Lord and they refuse the Krishna's supremacy. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Very straight answer. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. There is one question I'll try to ask one more and then we'll move on. So on this fate and time, okay, why do the kings wait for a better time to attack Krishna? Why they are waiting? Well, what is that is there in their mind for a better time means? Better time to attack Krishna. What is there in their mind?
They are in illusion. That's why
they are
they have a hope that the next time we will going to conquer.
Exactly. It's all because of their false sense control. Okay. And they're in the illusion. They think that they will win at some point of time in future. Okay.
And the one more thing, Krishna always said, as long as you are on the side of Dharma, you're on the opposite side,
then you cannot hope to win.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. So thank you. Okay. I think everybody started participating. Let's move to the next themes. Okay. The next theme is demonic mentality and ego. Here, Jarasandha especially is so much obsessed. Okay. Because for defeating Krishna. This is because he is blinded by pride. And what is his attitude? He always wants to take the revenge against Krishna. Yeah, his ego is not letting him recognize that the Krishna is not just a warrior, but he's a supreme lord. See, he lost how many times? 17 times. So instead of feeling humbled, he's become more determined to he wants to win over Krishna. Okay, that is what we are seeing in theme 4. And then theme 5, what is the theme 5 is telling? Arrogance leads to delusion for us. Yeah, what is happening? What is happening? Jarasandha's statement about waiting for a favorable time. He's been what? He's waiting for a favorable time. Okay, that is a cyclic nature of a just hope of this particular material world. That at some point of time, I am going to win. But that will never happen in this material world. So what is that he is trying to do? He is trying to think that definitely at some point of time, I am going to win. Yeah. And also, okay, all the leaders were choosing Jarasandha as their leader. Okay, despite of so many defeats. That is simply because the Jarasandha is feeding their collective ego. Okay. So there is no humility. And what is that they have? Only arrogance. Yeah. And the next theme we are talking about false unity and against Lord. Yeah. So what is that happening to all these kings? Okay, they are among the they have fights among themselves, all these kings, but they became united against Krishna. This kind of unity is not based upon actual truth. Okay, but this is just because the shared negativity and because of hatred, they just connected. Okay. So if you talk about the devotees how they connect, we all connected, right, in this particular group. Okay, if something happens, we all pray for each other. Okay, we each other. Okay, we are well wishers for everybody. It is because of what the devotees unity happens. Happens because of what? That is through service and humility. Okay, and against to those particular kings. That is what we have to understand from this particular lesson. Hare Krishna. So shall we do a quick Q&A for this particular topic? So one simple question is, why did Jarasandha continue to fight? Okay, despite of so many defeats, Prabhuji's Matajis. It's a simple question.
Because
You all know.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Because Jarasandha is ignorant. He is inimical towards Krishna because of his ignorance, and he lacks spiritual understanding. He lacks spiritual understanding, and he doesn't know that actual strength is in surrender to Krishna.
Perfect. Good. So in general, there is some kind of a discussion over here, okay, which are not covered as part of summary, but how these defeated kings are thinking or reacting after losing to Krishna. What is their thinking in their minds? They're not accepting their mistakes. Instead of that, they're blaming Krishna and calling that he is deceptive. And ultimately, Jarasandha is want to take revenge. Yeah. Okay.
And they also want to support each other.
They want to support each other
defeat,
because of the false faith.
defeat Krishna.
To defeat Krishna and to support their false faith. Yeah.
And Prabhuji, they are selfish. They have selfish motive with each other.
Yeah. So one simple question is, why did rival kings all unite under Jarasandha leadership? Why did they come under the leadership of Jarasandha? Why do you think so?
Yeah, Prabhuji. So my guess, it's a guess, because Jarasandha has interaction with the Lord Krishna 17 times, and 18th time he won. So
Mm.
people have some hope that maybe, this time also will be in my favor. That's my only guess was.
Yeah.
I
That is
really
also
He,
true. Yeah.
he thought he won. He didn't win actually.
Yeah.
He didn't win it. They thought he won. That is correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
प्रभु दूसरा भी रीजन ऐसा है कि वो उनके पास बहुत बड़ी सेना है, तो सबको लगे कि भाई हम उनसे जुड़े तो हमें
Yes.
हमारा कुछ भला ही होगा ऐसा,
Yes.
क्योंकि
So
23 अक्षोणी सेना.
Each of them, they have self-interest,
Yes.
but
Yes, Prabhu.
that is against the Lord's wishes.
Yes.
And on the side of adharma, the
Yes.
religious.
हाँ,
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
So these are the comradeship. These are the reasons why they are together, because they all have some kind of self-interest.
Yes.
Shishupal had a self-interest, right?
पर्सनल मोटिव.
Personal.
Personal motives.
Yes,
But there is
absolutely.
personal motives against the dharma, against Krishna.
Yes. Yes.
One
Wonderful
one
point.
thing more, Bhaiji, they do not know who is Krishna. They
It's
think
not even knowing, they're not trying to even understand who is Krishna. After happening this much also. They're seeing in front of Supreme Lord, but they're not even thinking.
See,
Okay.
they are not using their intelligence. Look at this.
Intelligence. Self-introspection is not there.
23
Yeah.
Akshoni Sena, overwhelming military power, and still they could not win. That ought to give them some sense that who they are dealing with.
Yes.
yes, they do not have a spiritual understanding at all.
Yeah.
And
So
they
that's what
think
the previous slide says, right? Just because you have material prowess, that does not mean that you have spiritual understanding.
Yes.
Yes.
That gives an arrogance that Prabhuji is pointing out again and again. That arrogance is coming in their way,
Yes. Prabhu.
they think
Very
that
good.
Prabhuji,
it is the
it
role of
requires
time.
mercy also ना प्रभुजी, so उनको mercy भी नहीं है भगवान, क्योंकि सब सेल्फ मोटिव के लिए लड़ रहे हैं, तो भगवान का
भगवान
कोई
से कैसे
कृपा भी
मर्सी
नहीं.
कैसे होगी? कैसे होगी?
हाँ.
भगवान के विरुद्ध, अब भगवान के विरुद्ध जा रहे हैं.
हाँ, सही बात.
Thank you very much. Wonderful participation. Let's move to section 2. We're running out of time. Section 2, the first theme is basically intolerance and anger. Okay. So here, the Rukmi's elder brother. Okay. Rukmi is the elder brother of Rukmini. Okay. So now slowly moving into Rukmi's Prabhuji's Mataji's. Okay. So he could not tolerate. Okay. Cannot tolerate that. He could not tolerate that she married Krishna without his permission. That is main ego. Yeah. So he is blinded by pride and too much of possessiveness. And he rushes, okay, to attack Krishna. And he wants to stop the marriage. That is what we have seen in theme 2, right? Okay. So his anger is not based on dharma or family honor. Okay. It is just because of his ego and he wants to control. That is what this particular theme 2 is talking about. Yeah. So, and then we are slowly moved to Rukmi's limited knowledge on Krishna. He doesn't have much knowledge on Krishna. So Rukmi fails to recognize who is Krishna. He didn't even that he doesn't know that the Krishna is a supreme Lord. Okay. He is just thinking that he is just a Krishna is just another rival king who just stole his sister. He's not thinking how he came, how he has taken off. There's no introspection. Okay. That is also missing over in theme 2. Then theme 3, divine compassion and emotional conflict. So after defeating Rukmi, Krishna doesn't kill him. Yes, we all seen yesterday. Instead of Krishna just humiliation, okay, humiliated him, cutting his hair and letting him leave. That is what we see, divine compassion. Yeah, and that is also, it is because of Rukmini also. Okay, that is also because of Rukmini. That is what we have seen it in theme 3. Okay. And then the theme 4 is talking about pride and humiliation. Okay. Then what is that Rukmi did? Rukmi has boasted so much. He would never allow Rukmini to marry Krishna. That is what also we have seen. After being defeated publicly and shamed, his pride is being shattered. So what is happened? The cutting of his hair is just a symbolic. It is a cultural justice. Okay. And of humiliation, dishonor. That is what only Krishna did here. Okay. So that is a quick summary. I'm going little fast, Prabhuji's Matajis, because we do not have much time and you have seen all these things. Let's jump into quickly to Q&A. So one quick question is, why does Rukmi become angry after Krishna all this scene? Okay, why did he become so angry? What is the main reason? It's very easy question.
Because
Everyone
of false pride.
false pride. Correct. Yes. Anything else?
Because of fear of
Arrogance.
public opinion, Prabhuji.
Ha. That is also true. Correct. Yeah. Let's move to the next question. So, how does Rukmi's view Krishna during the conflict? What is his view against in front of him, Krishna? What is that he's seeing? We covered in today's summary also.
He does not recognize Lord Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead.
He's just seeing
And
it as
that's the
another
reason
rival.
he is distracted, is misguided, and he lacks spiritual knowledge.
Yes. Perfect, Mataji. So one simple question is, why does, overall, like he has forgiven, right? Okay, Rukmi's life, he has given that life. Okay, after defeating also. Okay, he's paid. Okay, why do you think he has paid? Krishna has paid him.
Krishna Prabhuji, because Rukmini was compassionate and she prayed for him. That is its starting point is that.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. So, so what lesson does this give about pride, okay, to all of us? What is this, our summary, we can say, of all these 4 themes, which we have seen quickly, in 1 or 2 words?
That it is.
Yes.
Yes,
go on.
Mataji, go ahead, please.
Go on, Mataji, please.
Okay. It symbolizes the victory of divine over arrogance.
Yeah, over arrogance. That's it. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. So let's
And
quickly.
one more point is there that we all devotees should do any act to get some aim collectively. We should if we do one thing collectively, then we can achieve that goal.
Okay, Mataji. Sure. Yeah. Thank you. So let's move to the next theme 5, which is a compassionate conflict. So after Rukmi insults and attacks Krishna, the Lord defeats him and just humiliates him. That's what you have seen, right? So what is that here is Krishna is showing? Krishna is showing that the compassion, yeah, especially considering Rukmini's distress, because Rukmini was not happy. So he has shown compassion. He balances, see, the most important here, Prabhuji's Mataji, is, okay, he balances the justice with compassion and kindness. And he's just punishing the ego and sparing that particular person. That is what we have to understand. Okay, even for all of us, just winning is not important. Winning with compassion, that is very important, Prabhuji's Mataji. That is what we have to learn from this particular episode. Okay, all right. So the
And
next.
one point is also, we may say that we should not take the life of anyone. You get the teaching of this.
Yes, Mataji.
Life is very costly. We can teach a lesson to the person in any other way.
Yes, Mataji. So the theme 6. The theme 6 is transcendental versus material insignificance. See, Rukmi represents material pride actually in this particular thing. So the status, control, okay, family honor, everything. See, material is insignificance, okay, when you see the transcendental opulence. That is what we have seen from the Krishna, right? Okay, even Charu Prabhuji explained 17 Akshokinis. Okay, no, how many Akshokinis? 23 Akshokinis. 23 Akshokinis. Yeah. So nothing in front of Krishna. That is what we are seeing here. Then here there is a very wonderful discussion happened yesterday, the role of fate and destiny. Hare Krishna. The role of fate and destiny. Rukmi tried to change the destiny by opposing the divine marriage. But do you think that will happen? That will never happen. But despite of his planning and effort and anger, he fails. The marriage of Krishna and Rukmini proceed. Okay. Yeah, that is what we have seen. Moving a little fast because we are running out of time. Theme 8. Theme 8 is perception of love. Rukmini's love for Krishna is pure and devotional. That is what we have to understand. Yeah, it's a very pure and devotional. So as a devotees, we also should inculcate that purity has to come. We should not expect anything from Lord. We should only see how do I serve Lord and his devotees. Okay. So let us go for a quick Q&A. Okay. We all become now experts on this particular topic. How does Krishna show compassion even during this kind of such a difficult situation, confrontation in this world? How does he show compassion? Hare Krishna, everyone can answer this question.
Yeah.
It's very simple questions. I try to frame it in a very simple way.
It shows that the divine's compassionate which seeks to protect his devotees,
Ah,
and it gives the depth of virtue.
yes, yes. He has not chosen to kill Rukmi and he has let him go. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Discussed in the end, we're dealing with like Ashwatthama,
Sanjeev.
how they are different, and
Your voice is too low for me, Prabhu.
yeah, we also discussed in the end how this is different when compared to Ashwatthama and
Yes.
who's the other person? Forgot.
Jarasandha.
Jarasandha. Yeah, Jarasandha.
Jayadrat.
Jayadrat, not
Yeah,
Jarasandha.
yeah. That example also we have chosen. We have taken.
Jarasandha also
There's
spared his
some-
life so many times, right?
Yes.
So that's a comparison, like how Rukmi versus Jarasandha versus Jayadrat. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Even Ashwatthama.
Even Ashwatthama. Correct. Correct.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Let's move on to the next question. I'll try to have one question and then we'll move. Okay. One question is related to Rukmini. Let's view from the Rukmini's point of view. Okay. Why does Rukmini feel so pain after his brother humiliation?
Because of family relation, feeling of brotherhood,
Yes. Yes.
and
She's emotionally connected.
she's also worried that what if my brother is killed, then what public will say that he's killed, he's murdered before my eyes.
Okay. Overall, yesterday we have seen after humiliation also she felt very bad because she has that emotional connect with his brother and she has love. Okay, includes that emotional concern is there. Okay. She's Rukmini is so compassionate on everybody. Okay, that is also we can say. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah. So let's move to the next section 3. I think we're running out of time. I'll try to summarize it quickly. Yeah, here now Balarama is entering here, correct? Yeah, yes, Balarama is entering here. So the first theme is what? Compassion and forgiveness. See, the Rukmini is humiliated, okay? And instead of finishing him off, Krishna shows restraint. That is what happened. He's shown restraint through Balarama, okay? He has given that forgiveness through Balarama words, actually. That is what happened in this particular theme we have seen, correct? Yeah. And slowly what we are understanding, okay, Balarama, because she is also feeling very bad, Rukmini is feeling very bad. Now Balarama is kind of started preaching Rukmini. Okay. Yes, that is what we have seen, right? Yeah.
He's consoling Rukmini.
He's consoling. Yeah, he's consoling. Saying that the
And,
dialogue between
internally,
Balarama and Rukmini. Yeah.
Internally,
Yeah.
Balarama
Yeah.
thinks that whatever has been done with Rukmi, it is correct.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Internally, he thinks, but due to consoling Rukmani, he says that no, this is not fair. You should not do like this.
Yes.
This is your brother-in-law.
Yes. Yes. He is trying to teach the relation between what is that absolute reality and the soul. Yes. That is what he is teaching. We are all souls. Okay. And that kind of teaching, we have seen it from Balaram, okay, to Rukmini. And then slowly, what is that we have moved? Moral dilemma in warfare. So here in the summary, Krishna and Balarama, what is that they are trying to do over here? They are correct the wrong without excessive violence. They are trying to justice. They are trying to bring the justice. They are doing correct thing. They are doing justice, but without too much violence. That is what actual summary of theme 3. Yeah. So let us have a quick questions on this particular page before moving to the next page. So what is that is teaching us here? What does Krishna's decision teach us through Balarama here? What is that is teaching us through Balarama here? Actually, Krishna and Balarama are supreme. Okay. So slightly Balarama is acting differently. Yeah. So what is that is Krishna decision is teaching us through Balarama? We discussed in summary also.
Mercy and forgiveness.
Mercy and forgiveness. Perfect. Yes. So dharma includes mercy and forgiveness. Perfect. Yeah, I think that is good answer. Okay. Yeah, let's move to the next question. Next section. And let's have a few more questions here. So what is the theme for attachment and illusion? So, okay, there is somebody's illusion. Rukmi's plan and expectation is, it is crumble actually. He built his future on what? He built everything, his mind is what? Pride, control, and false identity. That is what we are seeing in this attachment, okay, and illusion. Yeah. Okay, here again, Rukmini got, okay, all these understandings from Balarama. Yeah. So let's move on. So here, philosophical reflections on self. Okay. Here, what is happening? Philosophical expression on the self through Balarama teachings. That is what is happening, right? So Krishna's actions through Balarama invites a deeper reflection. Okay. What is that? Who am I? Okay. Who am I beyond my titles and pride? And what is the relationship with Supreme? Okay. That is all being teaching in this particular theme 5. Who is Jiva? Okay. What is the soul? What is connection with Supreme Soul? All these being taught in this particular section. Okay. So let us have a few quick questions here. I think we already know 7:17. I have to wrap it up in few minutes, I guess. What kind of self-reflection is possible? Okay. After this defeat and after this particular entire episode. Yeah. For all of us. After these teachings. 1 or 2 lines if somebody wants to cover. Hare Krishna.
That we are not the body, we are soul.
Yes, yes.
And we are connected to Lord.
Yes.
Eternally.
Eternally. Okay. Anything
and
else?
These all relations are based on the material level.
Material level. Yeah, that is very good.
And
Any other
material
points?
existence is temporary,
Yeah. Material
subject to
existence
birth
is
and
temporary.
death, cycles of birth and death.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
One should not let your material attachment cloud your consciousness, your viveka,
Judgment.
discrimination.
Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so let's move on to the next theme. Theme 7, 8, 9. Let's go it very quickly. So what is theme 7? Is cultivating compassion and joy. Okay, and then here what is that is being discussed. In contrast to the, okay, all these chores, whatever we have seen, Krishna remains very composed, okay, and he very graceful. So he doesn't act so haste and anger, okay. He's always joyful, okay. His inner joy and steadiness reflects that is a spiritual state. That is what we see it in Supreme and also in his devotees. Yes, yes. We don't see devotees so angry. Yes or no? Yeah. We always see them very smiling, okay, very helpful. Yes, yes or no? That is what we are seeing it in theme 7. So theme 8 is talking about the role of social expectation. So Rukmini is so concerned about the public perception and highlights the impact of social norms. Okay, that is what we have seen it in theme 8. Okay, and then what is the conclusion? We had a wonderful conclusion here. This episode concludes with lessons in ego, compassion, destiny, and devotion. All these things being taught to us. Rukmi he is humiliated by the Lord. Okay. Rukmini proceeds to and then she slowly moved to Dwarka with lot of dignity. Okay, then she has felt that presence of divine. The Krishna's love she has seen. Okay, and Balarama's nice, great words. Okay, great preachings, and also she was very happy while she moving to Dwarka. Okay, that is what we have seen, right? So let us see one or two questions in this particular theme, and then we move on. Okay, I'm going to ask very simple question. What is a key takeaway, okay, from Rukmi's failure and Krishna's response? What is a key takeaway from this particular thing? I'm making it a so generic question so that everybody could participate, probably. Yeah. This encourages more participation.
Prabhuji, repeat the question, please.
What is a key takeaway from these Rukmi's failures and what is our Krishna's response in this particular overall theme? What is a takeaway for us? What is a key takeaway for us?
It reflects the spiritual truth that emotional attachments and societal expectations. We
Yeah.
should ignore, yeah.
Yes. Any other answers?
It also, like, one should not inflate one's ego and pride so much that, it becomes difficult to come back.
Yes. This is right answer, Mataji. So ego always leads to downfall. Okay. Yeah, the false ego, especially the false ego, always downfall. Okay. And the Krishna has always response what? He is always compassionate and he is always in balanced. Yeah, Krishna and Balarama. Yeah. So let's move to the section 4. So section 4 is a kind of, it's much easier actually. It's more of a celebrations. And what is that is happening? Consequences of actions. Okay. So in this theme, what is it we have seen? Rukmi faces public humiliation as a direct result of ego-driven aggression. That is all we have seen. And then the second theme is nature of suffering. Okay, Rukmini experiences emotional. Okay, Rukmini. Okay, the name here, the nature of suffering we have seen. The Rukmi is being suffered, right? So the Rukmi in naming that particular city. Yesterday we discussed in this in length by Archana Mataji that this particular city is being named what? Okay, Bojakata. Okay, which is signifying suffering due to his misguided woe. Yeah, that is what we have seen yesterday. And then slowly we entered into the celebration of love. Yeah, so she explained very well. Okay, that celebration of love. Okay, I was very happy to hear that from Archana Mataji. Instead of this so much of tension, all these things, what happened? The people of Dwarka celebrated the marriage with a great joy. Yes or no? So Krishna and Rukmini ultimately became union, represents the divine love. Yeah, fulfilled. And the celebration became spiritual festival. It became like a spiritual festival. That is what we have seen. Let's move to the next and last theme, Prabhuji's Mataji's. So what is that? Auspiciousness and blessing. The wedding is fully filled with all auspicious nights, all mangalas, with music, rituals, and flower showers, and well wishers. Every aspect of this particular event seen, what we have seen, it is a sacred blessings, sacred and blessed, because it is being centered with Krishna. Krishna is in the center. That is what we have seen in theme 4. And then theme 5, that is glorification and divine. That is what unity and community. That citizens of a Dwarka, and relatives, they all glorified Krishna's virtues. Yes or no? Okay, during the wedding. That is what we have seen. His strength and beauty and compassion is also Krishna's strength and beauty and compassion is also being praised. Okay, that is what we have seen. The glorification of divine, that is unity and community. That is what we have seen in this particular theme. Yeah, and everyone so happy. Okay, everyone is so happy because Krishna is in center. Yeah, that is what we have seen yesterday. So maybe I will just ask one question here. Okay, very simple question, and then we will close this particular Q&A summary. Okay, why should we glorify Krishna? Okay, why everybody glorified Krishna during wedding and in the overall episode? What is the reason?
Because
glorification.
he is a supreme protector.
He is
And
a
the
supreme
moment you
protector.
show only little bit faith, he immediately comes.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's the reason he is glorified, because he's supremely merciful.
He's supremely merciful. That is a perfect answer, Mataji. He's supremely merciful. He's supremely merciful. Yeah. Okay, I think we have one more page. Okay. Hare Krishna. Here we had the conclusion. Seventh theme is divine opulence and fortune. Divine opulence and fortune we have seen. That is so much of joy of spirituality. See, whatever we have so much material, Prabhuji's Matajis, unless you connected that material to the spirituality and you think that these material opulences you connected to spirit, to the Lord Krishna, you cannot enjoy that particular material. Okay. That is what overall I have seen in summary of these particular themes. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So there is a conclusion over here. The final theme is teaching us all about the importance of all our choices, the beauty of love and community, the significance of celebrations of auspicious occasions, and the joy that comes from spiritual connections. The actual joy comes from spiritual connections. It encourages to us, thoughtfully, and to embrace love and the unity of our lives. That is what comes ultimately. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Okay. So what kind of message you think overall this particular theme has given to all of us? Hare Krishna. Last answer. Okay, last theme, last set of chapter 4. What is that we understand? What is that it summarized for us? 1 or 2 lines. 1 line is good enough.
One should have undying faith, and one should synchronize one's desire with the divine will.
Yeah. Any others wants to contribute who has not spoken? Deepti Mataji, Badal Prabhu. I try to frame the questions very generic so that everybody can answer so easily. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I think we're running out of time. I think we crossed 40 minutes. Thank you very much. Sarath Prabhu, Char Prabhu, I'm sorry if there are any mistakes or if I'm not meeting expectations.
You did a very good job. Very good job, Prabhuji.
I tried to make it very generic as much as
very
possible.
good.
Try to
Very
summarize.
good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And all participants, they too also good job. And Benji, you showed great improvement now.
क्या समझ नहीं आया भाई जी?
आपने बहुत अच्छा इम्प्रूवमेंट किया है.
मैंने बट लेकिन कुछ नहीं किया. कभी तो कुछ नहीं किया.
You just within 24 hours you made so much improvement, you know.
मैं ध्यान से बोला बस. पर इतना
अभी आप सोच के बोलती है ना. आप अपने आंसर जो मेंटली कंपोज करके बोलती है आप, you know. That's good.
मैंने बस थोड़ा सा ध्यान दिया अभी बोलने के टाइम में.
Be conscious of that, you know. Okay, I think Archana Mataji, we can start now.
तभी मैंने भाई जी आपको थैंक्स बोला था कि आप ये ये मेरे लिए अच्छा है. कोई वीकनेस बताता है.
मुझे डर लग रहा था कि मैं आपके I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
नहीं, ये मेरी आप आगे कभी इन फ्यूचर में भी कुछ कहना मेरी हैबिट है. मुझे मेरी वीकनेस जो भी बताएगा मुझे वो बहुत अच्छा लगता है. मतलब मैं सुधार कर सकती हूँ उसको.
Thank you.
ये रियली में हैबिट है.
Good habit.
पता नहीं.
बस पहले आप तो डिवोटी है ना, इसलिए
पता नहीं भाई जी. But
okay, Archana Mataji, you may start.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So today we begin with the next episode of the history of Pradyumna.
It's a relatively short chapter, so you shouldn't take time. Easy chapter.
Yes. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. So today we begin at the chapter number 55, describing the history of Pradyumna. So now we saw in the last class how there was a wonderful marriage happening at Dwarka. This is the first marriage of Krishna. And then we also hear now of the first child of Krishna, and that is Pradyumna. So this chapter is describing how Pradyumna was born. There is a lot of intricacies in this Leela, where Pradyumna is one of the Chaturvyuhas. Like we know that how Krishna expanded into Balaram as Swayam Prakash, and after Balaram, then Balaram expanded into the Chaturvyuha, that is, what is that? Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and from the Sankarshan came Narayan Murti, and from Narayan Murti all the different expanded to all the different Vaikunthas in the Vaikuntha Loka. And from there, from that Narayan Murti came another set of Chaturvyuha, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudev. And from this second Sankarshana came this material universe, right? So we know all this. So now we are talking about the Pradyumna from the Chaturvyuha. So how Pradyumna from Chaturvyuha was born to Krishna. Now Pradyumna from Chaturvyuha means Krishna himself. But now when Krishna, do you remember when Krishna was going to take birth, all the demigods had come, they were praying to Mother Devaki. At that time, Krishna had told, before his birth, he had told Mother Durga, who was his sister, telling her to tell all the demigods, telling Brahmaji to tell all the demigods to take birth in the different families in Yadukula. We remember that when Brahmaji goes with, first thing is when Brahmaji goes with mother cow, that is Dharti, Mother Dhara, and Brahmaji go and complain about the atrocities of Kamsa to Narayana, Kshirodaksha Vishnu. At that time, what does Vishnu tell Brahmaji? He tells him, go and tell all the demigods to take birth. So how does this happen? So the demigods are taking birth, okay, in different, but they are taking birth as in the actual avatars of Krishna, like for example, Pradyumna. So now Pradyumna is going to embody another soul. That is, who is that? Kamadev or Cupid. So like you see, even in Gaur Leela, we see that one personality was embodying many different personalities, right? For example, Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai was also embodying who? Arjuna. Also I was embodying Arjun Sakha. Also was embodying Vishakha Devi. Like this, Sakhi, Vishakha Sakhi. So like this, Ramananda Rai had so many personalities within him. Like that, each and every Parshad of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had multiple people within one personality. This is possible in spiritual, when you talk about spiritual life. Materially, it's not possible. We only have one soul and one body, right? I mean, one soul has a body. But here, in the case of spiritual topics, when you're talking about Leela of the Lord, then all these things are possible. Today, we are going to describe how this happened. So now, Kamadev was reborn. Why? Because Kamadev was burnt by the anger of Rudra, of the Lord Shiva. And then he was reborn to Rukmini and Krishna. And because he took birth in the body of Pradyumna. But Narad Muni had already told Shambharasura that Shambharasura had come to know that this person, Pradyumna, is going to be the cause of his death. And therefore, Shambharasura was waiting when this child of Krishna and Rukmini will be born. And can you imagine, just within 10 days, in some Puranas it said only 6 days. 6 days, Shambharasura kidnapped the small child, less than 10 days old, and from the maternity home. He was a Mayavi Rakshasa. So he could do all this, and it tossed him into the ocean, thinking that that's the end, the child is dead, and then I'm saved because nobody else can kill me. But what happened? Pradyumna ended up in the belly of a fish because the fish swallowed the child, a very huge fish. And then the fisherman caught this fish. The moment he caught this huge fish, the fisherman thought that this should be presented to the king, Shambarasura. So he went to present it to Shambarasura, and Shambarasura told this kitchen cook to cook the fish. So when they brought it inside, they opened up the fish and they saw this little child. And the moment they saw this child, the child was handed over to the maid there called Mayavati. So Narad Muni again came to Mayavati and he disclosed to her that actually she was Rati, the wife of Cupid or Kamadev. And this Kamadev himself has come as this child here. And so he was supposed to be her husband. So she very nicely and meticulously brought up this child with great love and raised him. And then finally, when he became old enough, she started to display conjugal attraction towards Pradyumna. And then Pradyumna was surprised. He asks her, so this is all in short, because later on we'll be discussing. So he asks her that, how come all this while you brought me up like a mother and now you are acting in this way? But then she reveals her identity to Pradyumna, and Pradyumna tells him, now you should kill this wicked demon, Shambarasura, because you're meant to do that. And in her form as Mayavati, Rati has now all this Mayavi Shaktis, which she gives it to Pradyumna. So Pradyumna takes all her Maya Shaktis, and then he beheads this Shambarasura with a sword. So when he beheads Shambarasura, that's the end of Shambarasura, and that's his mission is accomplished. So now Rati says, now is the time we should go back to your actual home. So Rati now, because she has got magical powers, so she transports him and herself back to the palace of Krishna. So as they enter the palace, because they have entered through the airways and they come straight away inside the palace in the inner chambers, all the ladies over there, that means all the maids as well as Krishna's wives, there were so many wives there. So all these wives, they suddenly immediately see Krishna entering. They think it is Krishna because Pradyumna resembles Krishna exactly, like he just looks exactly like Krishna. So they immediately think it is Krishna and they start hiding in the different corners of the palace, being very bashful and shy. That suddenly Krishna has appeared, so they hide. But when Rukmini sees Pradyumna, immediately her maternal love is overflooding. Tears come to her eyes and she immediately brings him to the inner chambers of the palace and she caresses him. She looks at him lovingly as a mother would look towards her child, and she says, if my son would have been alive, he must be like you. He must be in this form. So immediately she recognizes her child. No other queen can feel maternal feelings towards Pradyumna except Rukmini. Everybody thinks he is Krishna, but then they come to know it is actually Pradyumna. Then she's reunited Rukmini after so many years, the long lost son, and then they all rejoice. So this is the history at a glance. So we begin with this. So who was Pradyumna? Pradyumna was the son of Rukmini and Krishna, and he's born under unusual circumstances. Okay, so we will see how that Kamadev is an expansion or vibhuti of Krishna or Vasudeva. That is Vasudevamsho. Why do we say that? That is, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is confirming, right? He is saying that he is Kamadev. Prajanams Chasmi Kandarpa, he says, right? Yeah. Of progenitors, I am Kandarpa, the Cupid. So Kamadev, he is a part of Krishna's opulence, Krishna's vibhuti. And Kamadev, now because he was burnt by the fire of Lord Shiva, we remember this episode. What happened? Once Parvati Devi was worshipping Lord Shiva, wanting Lord Shiva only as her husband. So at this time, all the devas, they came to know that there is a very terrible demon, and this Tripurasura can be killed only by the son of Lord Shiva and Parvati. This was the boon given to him. So, but Lord Shiva was in deep meditation, and Parvati was worshipping Lord Shiva continuously, but Lord Shiva was not coming out of the meditation. And in this way, the devas hit upon a plan that one day, while Parvati is worshipping Lord Shiva, Kamadev will hit an arrow at Lord Shiva's heart, and which would wake him up from his meditation. So this was done. Kamadev took the challenge because Kamadev knew that the fury of Lord Shiva, what would happen in case Lord Shiva will burn, he can do anything. This is the end of me. He was already in that, but still, for the sake of the entire universe, he took up this task of sacrifice. So what he did, he hit an arrow, and when the arrow hit Lord Shiva, his meditation was broken, and he saw Parvati in front of him. And in this way, he immediately came to know who was the cause, and he just glanced at Kamadev with full fury. And this anger of Lord Shiva from his third eye, the anger burst out in flames, and Kamadev was totally burnt. So when Kamadev lost his body, Rati worshipped Lord Shiva. She worshipped Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was pleased, and she asked for the benediction that her husband be given a body. At that time, Lord Shiva said, yes, he will get a body, but in due course of time, and you will also be reborn, and then you will be reunited. So this was the benediction of Lord Shiva. So this also took place. So now Kamadev attained another body by entering into the body of Pradyumna, as I told you earlier. So Kamadev entered into the body of Pradyumna. So thus he attained not by his own powers, but by the will of the Lord. Because we are all jivas. We cannot do that. But if when we desire, the Lord will satisfy. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that Kamadev thus became famous as Pradyumna. And actually, Pradyumna is a part of Chaturvyuha with a spiritual Satchidananda body, right? Yes. Whereas Kamadev is just a jiva. He's just a jiva conditioned soul with a special powers. He has special powers. He's a deva. He's not just an ordinary man, but still he's a jiva. And the Gopal Tapani Upanishad is confirming this point. What is it saying? It's saying that in Dwaraka, the Almighty Shri Krishna, endowed with all his full potency, is residing in the company of his three plenary expansions. Balaram, that is the Swayam Prakash, then Aniruddha and Pradyumna. So when you say Vasudev, Sankarshan, Vasudev is Krishna, Sankarshan is Balaram, then Aniruddha is Krishna's great grandson, and Pradyumna is his son. Right? We will be hearing about Aniruddha and Usha in the future. So Gopal Tapani Upanishad says that in Dwaraka, Krishna resides in his four expansions, that is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna and Aniruddha. So this is also stated by Narad Muni in the mantra recited by him in the first canto. What he says in the Bhagavatam, he says, Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Aniruddhaya Namaha Sankarshanaya Cha. We know this 1.5.37. In this we hear this shloka by Narad Muni. So in this he is saying, praying to all these four, because the Lord came down in this four Vyuha, in Chaturvyuha, in Dwarka. So let us all chant the glories of Vasudev along with his plenary expansions, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshan. So this is the verse. So this verse now, it mentions that Pradyumna was not less than his father Krishna. in any way. That means equal potency. Equal potency he had like his father. Okay. And the you can say the Jiva, that is the Cupid which entered him like that. He is the servant of Indra, isn't it? Because Indra is a Devata and is a lord of all the Devatas, and his servant is Cupid is one of his servants like that. He can never be described like that. He can never be described on par with Krishna, isn't it? So the proper explanation is that Cupid entered within Pradyumna by the will of the Lord. And then he became situated there, just as like we saw also in other cases where we remember how Drona and Dhara, they also meditated for a long time, and they also wanted Krishna as their son. So how did Krishna fulfill that? That Drona merged with Nanda Maharaja's body, and Dhara merged into Yashoda Maiya's body. And this way, they got the chance to experience Krishna as their child. Okay, so this is what is how Pradyumna, the son of Rukmini, is born under unusual circumstances. This is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Then what happened? Shambarasura, he stole the infant before he was even 10 days old. Vishnu Puran is telling that Pradyumna was kidnapped only 6 days after his birth. And Shambarasura, he understood that Kamdev only was his enemy. So he became, because he learned from Narada that Kamdev would kill him in the future. So therefore, he was very much eager to kill the child. So then he is kidnapped by Shambarasura shortly after his birth, and in this event, ordained for a divine purpose, he sets off a series of divine pastimes, and that illustrate the intricate dynamics between characters involved, particularly the relationship between celestial beings and the earthly manifestations. So we saw that very clearly. Pradyumna is not just an incarnation, okay, but also an embodiment of divine qualities and powers. Standing by, because he's on par with Krishna, he's almost one of the Chaturvyuhas, standing as a significant figure within Krishna's eternal expansions, the Chaturvyuha. His identity as Kamadev, the love of God, Cupid, further emphasizes the theme of love and in its various forms, parental, romantic, and divine. And the narrative reveals that Kamadev's essence merges with Pradyumna, showcasing how divine identities can transcend material limitations. Yes, because we cannot normal beings, we cannot understand this, but it is possible that we saw here how divine identities, they can transcend, they can go beyond our material limitations. Material limitation is what? One body, one soul. But divine identities, what they can do? Many souls can enter into one body. Now, Mayavati's encounter with Pradyumna. So she is who? Mayavati. Mayavati is actually Rati. She is the wife of Kamadev. So how is that happening? So we have to see that. So now, first and foremost, she has entered the kitchen of Shambarasura. She is stationed there, and she is helping out in the cooking. And then what happens? One day, Pradyumna was swallowed by that powerful fish, right? Balavan, Meena, huge fish, swallowed that baby, which was dropped by Shambarasura into the ocean. And this was done by the desire of the Lord. The Lord likes to perform so many varieties of pastimes. So it was not that the fish was stronger than Pradyumna. We cannot think like that because Pradyumna was a baby, so Pradyumna couldn't do anything. No, he was the most powerful. He is one of the Chaturvyuhas. So we cannot think like that. But because of the pastime, Krishna has already ordained all this to happen. A huge fish came and swallowed Pradyumna. And the same fish was caught. The Matsya Purana also is saying why Mayavati was waiting for Kamadev to take a new body. So when Cupid's body was burnt to ashes by Lord Shiva, she was worshipping Lord Shiva, and she to obtain, and then Shiva told her that this is what's going to happen. So Shambarasura, at the same time when she was worshipping Lord Shiva, Shambarasura also came to Lord Shiva. He also wanted a benediction. She was also worshipping. So both of them were worshipping at the same time. So then first Shambarasura was recognized by the by Lord Shiva, and he said, you should now ask for your benediction. Shambarasura, and because he was also there at the same time, Rati was also there at the same time, right? Both were there in front of Lord Shiva. Both wanted benedictions. The moment Lord Shiva asked Shambarasura, because he's asuric minded, the moment Lord Shiva asked Shambarasura what he wanted, immediately Shambarasura was struck with lust, because he saw Rati so beautiful standing in front of him. So he said that he wanted her as a benediction. So Lord Shiva said, okay, granted. So Lord Shiva then comforted, because Rati started crying, what is this? Now you have given me to him. What am I going to do? So Lord Shiva said, don't worry, you go with him, and in his very home, you will attain what you desire. So then what to do? Rati was bewildered. Then what she did, she knew that she had all these magical powers. So what she did, she put a Maya on top of Shambarasura. So Shambarasura, under her Maya, he did not even know she existed in his palace. He could not even see her. And she was staying there, remaining with him in his house because of the benediction. Lord Shiva says, take her. So she went with Shambarasura, but Shambarasura could not see her at all. And she remained without being noticed by him, without being touched by him also. Because of her powers, she made sure that Shambarasura could not come near her or see her also even. So both happened because she was there also. Shambarasura's benediction was fruitful by Lord Shiva, because she was there, but she was not there. In both ways. And Shambarasura was totally bewildered. He was totally delusioned. He didn't even know what he had asked for the boon, and totally gone. So in this way, this was happening. Okay. So this is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So then Pradyumna is growing up. So it's mentioned also in the Bhagavatam, in the Krishna book, that Pradyumna grew very fast, very quickly he grew up. So then he grew up, and then suddenly Rati was expressing conjugal attraction to Pradyumna by, it's mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura as by the dancing movements of her eyebrows. So she wanted to inform him actually of his identity. Okay, so this is your identity. But because day to day he was growing, and she was thinking that first I will tell him, then I will display my conjugal love for him. But the whim of the destiny or whatever, Mayavati, she came under the capture of Maya, the lust. And before even revealing the truth to him and telling him why she was acting like that, she spontaneously started exhibiting conjugal feelings. So in this way, he was a little bewildered, Pradyumna. Okay, then that even though Pradyumna, he was endowed with all qualities of omniscience, right? Pradyumna is the Lord, one of the Chaturvyuhas. So he was endowed with, because also in his body there is Kamadev, but still he is the Lord. So he was omniscient. So by his will, he could know what was happening. But Krishna is a treasure house of transcendental pastimes, right? He likes to have Leela's pastimes. So Pradyumna's omniscience became covered. Okay, and he spoke to his wife, Rati, in this way. So he said, you should not have any other tendency than this ecstatic loving attraction you're displaying. After all, you have quite rightly transgressed the mood of a mother, and now you're actually my lover in conjugal rasa. So the real meaning of his, because first he was telling, why are you behaving like this? You are supposed to be my mother. Why are you behaving like this? But then the meaning of his words, because his omniscience became covered, and then he spoke in this manner. So then Mayavati or Rati, she is considered, so she told him, she considering him to be Kamdev. She didn't consider him to be Pradyumna or anything. She considered him to be Kamdev. So she said, I am your wife. So then Pradyumna, who was actually actually she was Rati, right? So she was a material wife of the material Kamadev. Little bit confusing, but you have to think, you have to just keep a little bit attentive here. Okay, Rati was Mayavati was formerly Rati, and she was a material wife of the material Kamadev, right? So Pradyumna made her his wife by touching her, just as a touchstone transforms objects by contact. So Pradyumna touched her and made her his wife by transforming her into Rati. So however, she is actually his own eternal Shakti. So the mother of Aniruddha, according to other Vaishnav Toshani and another book, actually Rukmavati was the actual mother of Aniruddha. We will see in the next chapters, but here it's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is mentioned like this, but in other literatures it's mentioned. Do we know how much Rukmi hated Krishna? But then when it came to the Bhojakata, we saw he built one palace. Then after that, Rukmi got married. Rukmi had a daughter. Her name was Rukmavati. And then finally, Rukmavati only got married to Pradyumna. And their child was Aniruddha, also is mentioned in the in some literatures. So we can imagine how much there was enmity, and still he gave, because of his love for Rukmini. He loved her, his sister, so much that he gave his daughter to Rukmini's son. That we will see in the future. But here, now, Rati is telling Pradyumna, now you kill this dreadful Shambhara. He is your formidable enemy. Although he knows hundreds of magic spells, but you can defeat him with bewildering magic and other techniques which I have taught you. So Mayavati from childhood, she's been teaching Pradyumna because she knows what is his goal. He's supposed to kill this demon, and so she has trained him like that. So then she's saying that quickly kill this demon, because your poor mother, she has lost her son in just within 10 days, and she's crying like a Kurari bird. Kurari bird, have you heard ever? You can Google Kurari bird, and you can hear the voice is very painful, very deep, and very the voice just touches your heart of this bird. You know, the bird cries in a very pitiful way. So this is always mentioned in the Bhagavatam when somebody cries very piteously. So she's saying, Mayavati is telling Pradyumna, your mother is waiting for you. Please quickly kill this demon, and we will go to satisfy your mother. She has been crying like a Kurari bird. She is overwhelmed by losing you. So then Pradyumna approached Shambharasura, and he said he's going to call him for. He started hurling intolerable insults to him, and he called him for a fight. So he confronted Shambharasura, showcasing his valor and divine strength and his victory over the demon, a symbol of evil and chaos. Not only restores peace, but also reaffirms his sacred lineage. So that means sacred lineage is Pradyumna. The return to Dwarka alongside with his wife Rati carries a rich symbolism of reunion and fulfillment of destiny, underscoring the triumph of good over evil and the fulfillment of divine purpose. That means Pradyumna and Rati then went to the airways. She brought him to be reunited with his mother to Dwarka. So when he was hurling these harsh words, Shambharasura became agitated, like a snake was being kicked. What happens when you kick a snake? The snake will come and immediately hiss and bite you. So he came out with a club in his hand. His eyes were red with rage, And then they started fighting. Shambarasura was whirling his club, and Pradyumna, he produced a very sharp sword, and they were fighting. And then throwing the club, what Shambarasura did, he produced a sharp, like a thunder clap. It's very loud, isn't it? Sometimes when the thunder clap comes, it just pierces our heart also, our ears also. So like that, Shambarasura was producing sharp sounds by his club. And it was creating this kind of resonance. And in that way, he made the one statement. He said that he's going to kill Pradyumna. So Pradyumna then, he drew out his sharp-edged sword and forcefully cut off Shambhara's head. And he complete with his red mustache, helmets, earrings, all were shining, and the head was cut off. And then he and Rati Devi, they descended, Mayavati or Rati, you can call, they descended from the skies into the inner quarters of Krishna's most excellent palace, which were crowded by lovely women, because 16,108 wives as well as so many maidservants, right? So they were all crowding the palace, inner chambers of Krishna's palace. Now we know each queen had one separate palace. Right. So they were going to Rukmini's palace, and there were thousands of maidservants there. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, he's saying that Pradyumna looked exactly like Krishna with his abundant hair, alaka alivihi, which were both dark blue and curly hair. So they looked exactly like Krishna's hair. So then what happened? Gradually, from slight differences between his appearance and Krishna's appearance, slowly the ladies in the palace, they realized he was not the Lord. So they started coming out from the corners where they were hiding, and then they started becoming so delighted and very astonished. And they're looking at Pradyumna, who is this? Who is this? And who is this beautiful woman who's accompanied him? Like that. They were coming and they were very curious. They were looking at Pradyumna. And understanding that Pradyumna was not Krishna, so many different characteristics, immediately all the queens were informed, all the queens came, they approached him, and they were asking, who is this consort? Who is your consort? Who is this jewel among women? Who looks so beautiful? Then Rukmini's reaction upon seeing Pradyumna is particularly very telling, because her immediate affection in recognizing him as her long lost son highlights the deep intrinsic bonds of love that transcend even the most challenging circumstances, isn't it? Because in the women, this maternal love is very, very prominent. It's here it's portrayed as instinctual and profound, sets her apart from other queens who react with lust rather than profound depth of maternal affection that Rukmini feels. So none of the queens felt any maternal affection for Pradyumna. When he came, everybody was thinking that he was Krishna, and they were having a different kind of conjugal feelings, whereas Rukmini immediately had maternal feelings. So Rukmini said, whose son is this? Kasya, whose son is this? Best among men. Naravaidurya, she called him Naravaidurya. This beautiful jewel-like. Who is this beautiful child? And Rukmini said, my son, who was taken by some kidnapper, Balagraham, Caesar of children, that means kidnapping children, he would be the same age and appearance like this man if he was alive. So yes, then she was started thinking, yes, this must be my child. This must be the one. I have feeling so much great affection for him that my left arm is also quivering. We remember when Krishna was sent a Brahmana with the letter, and when the Brahmana came, at that time also Rukmini was feeling her left arm twitching, and so the same thing, her left arm was also quivering at this time, and Rukmini thought this is a very good sign. And as she was conjecturing in this way, what happened? Lord Krishna came, and with Vasudeva and Devaki also came to the palace. So they all came. So then Krishna, Janardana, he knew perfectly what was happening. He knew everything, what had happened. Pradyumna had killed Shambarasura and Rati had brought him here, everything he knows. But he remained silent. He didn't say anything. He was just looking on at the drama, what was happening, unfolding between. And then Narad Muni came, and then he explained everything, beginning with how Shambarasura captured the child, and everything he explained. Like a full story, like a drama. And all the women of Krishna's palace, amazing account. They heard this beautiful story and they were like, they joyfully greeted Pradyumna. Oh, this is our child. This is our child who was lost, been lost for so many years. He has returned as if from the dead, like this. And they brought him and they were very much greeted him very joyfully. And then Devaki, Vasudev, Krishna, Balaram, and all the queens and all the women of the palace, especially Rukmini, they were embracing the young couple and they rejoiced. So this is the story. Now several key points are there, which we can see from here. So we'll see this slide where divine identity and incarnation. The story underscores that Pradyumna is not a mere mortal child, but an embodiment of divine qualities. And he is the living manifestation of Kamadev. Okay, this underscores a profound philosophical concept that divine entities can take on various forms to serve specific purposes in the world. In essence, it teaches us that our identities are not confined to the physical realm. They encompass deeper, often spiritual dimensions, rather spiritual dimensions that tether us to the grand reality. That means, like you see, even like in Mahabharata, like Indra's portion came into Arjuna, and like this, all the demigods, different portions came into, like the Vayu, that is wind god, his portion came into Bhima, and Dharma portion came into Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yama Maharaj, his portion came into Vidura. Like that, so many human-like beings were born with portions of the Devatas. So we can see that. So love is in its various forms. Love is a pervasive theme in Pradyumna's narrative, because we witness what? We witness a spectrum of love. What is that? Maternal love of Rukmini, romantic love of Rati, and even love expressed through friendship and duty in the battles. So this diversity, this is underscoring what? The love is multifaceted, right? It's not just like one. You have Sakhya Ras, you have Madhurya Ras, you have Vatsalya Ras, you have all these kind of Dasya Ras. So you have so many love, so many kinds of love. And it's an integral part of life. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is underscoring, that these diverse expressions of love are not isolated but interconnected, emanating from the same divine source, that is Krishna. And this teaches us to value love in all its forms and acknowledge its centrality in our relationships. To everything, all our relationships, we have to see that the central point is love. Love in different forms, different facets. And what is the role of destiny? The circumstances surrounding Pradyumna's birth. So what was his destiny? Destiny was Pradyumna is going to kill Shambarasura. How much ever Shambarasura tried his best to kidnap the child, throw him in the ocean, so that's the end of it. But that is possible? Not possible. Not possible to change this kind of destiny. So the circumstances surrounding Pradyumna's birth was, and his kidnapping by Shambarasura illustrates what? The concept of destiny. While it may seem that he had suffered misfortune, the unfolding events are part of a larger divine plan. This suggests that, because now misfortune for Krishna, Rukmini, imagine the first child being kidnapped. First child is gone, and whose child? It's nobody else's, but Krishna's first child is gone. But Krishna, of course, he knows everything, and he knows why it's gone, where it's gone, what is the mission the child has to do, and then he will return. But for a person who is in the Leela, at that time he will not show all these, like Rukmini and this others queens. They will not show that they are something divine, but they will play the part of the very grieving mother. They will play the part like that. So it was considered as a misfortune. So this suggests that challenges and obstacles can lead to significant growth and fulfillment of purpose, and the commentary encourages us to accept our life's journey, including its difficulties, as part of a greater design, reminding us that there is meaning behind our experiences. So even if we have any kind of very, very bad experiences in life, still we should always remember that our life's journey, these difficulties which are a part, are something of part of a greater design. Something great is going to happen, but this is only a part of it, and we have to just tolerate. This is going to remind us that there's something good, something big is going to happen, because we have surrendered to the Supreme. Not, the Supreme only is now in control, and we are a part of that whole big plan which is going to unfold soon. So now we come to the next point, where the power of divine pastimes. The interactions between divine beings such as Krishna, Pradyumna, and Shambarasura are, we're not saying that Shambarasura is divine, but Krishna and Pradyumna are divine. And then there is an interaction between this Asura, are often described as Leela or pastimes. So this term indicates that the actions of these beings, although seemingly serious, are a part of a playful divine drama. So what do we think? Oh my God, even the first, within first 10 days, the child was abducted and the child was thrown into such a horrible thing. But then this is a divine, it's a playful divine drama which is happening, where actions of these beings are not being bound by limitations of human understanding. Humans cannot understand how this can happen, but this is happening. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is pointing out that understanding these pastimes is helping us to see the world as a stage where divine love and Leela are being expressed. It is encouraging us to adopt a more playful, joyful perspective of life. So anything happening, even we feel it may be evil or bad or something, but we should try to look at it in a more, we should adopt a more playful, joyful perspective of life, recognizing that a divine presence guides us in everything we encounter. So, transformation and redemption. So, Pradyumna's odyssey from abduction to the eventual defeat of Shambarasura is a testament to transformation. So, it is showing us like how even from the worst case scenario, what can happen, what it can transform into. It demonstrates that even in the direct circumstances, one can rise and realize their true potential. So we just have to work positively all the time, be positive. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur underscores that this transformation is not just physical, but also spiritual. This aspect teaches us that adversity can be a catalyst for personal growth. That means adversity has happened, right? What is the adversity? Adversity is the child has been captured, thrown into the ocean, and it's gone. So that is the adversity. But there is it is possible. By Krishna's will, anything can happen. A big fish can swallow, and the fish can be transported to whom? The place where the whole drama has to take place. Shambarasura's kept his palace. Otherwise, how can this happen? That Pradyumna has to be Pradyumna is responsible for killing Shambarasura. How is he going to be transported to Shambarasura's palace? This can't happen. So this has taken place like this because it's like a catalyst, and we can say that these things surmount our challenges by tapping into our inner strength and divine connection. So there is a divine connection and there is an inner strength, and if we tap this, then we will be able to overcome any kind of adversity in life. So there is a break. So for 3 minutes, started the timer. So if anybody has any questions.
Krishna Mother. So that confusion, the confusion Pradyumna, right? So there are two Pradyumna. We saw that Shishupal, Rukmi marries and his daughter given to Rukmini's daughter, right? And that Pradyumna.
That is Aniruddha. Pradyumna,
that's Aniruddha. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, my confusion is gone. Thank you.
And there is another thing also given in the Harivamsa Purana. Pradyumna, he married daughter of Rukmi, whose name was Subhangi. And from Subhangi and Pradyumna, Aniruddha was born. This is given in the Harivamsa Purana also.
So the same Prabhu, the name may be different because sometimes we have slightly different names, right? Like Rukmini, sometimes they call Ruchiranana or other names. The same person has personality. It's the same personality, same Rukmi's daughter only, Rukmavati. Rukmavati was given in marriage to Pradyumna. Of course, not
As per this,
not Mayavati, not Mayavati, Rukmavati. Rukmavati is Rukmi's daughter.
yes.
Yeah.
That is also given here in the Harivamsa Purana. Rukmavati was married to Aniruddha.
No, Usha. Aniruddha, Usha was married.
No, I am telling you, it is given.
Oh, there is, yeah, Aniruddha, one more marriage took place actually. You are right, Prabhu. One more marriage took place. Rukmi's granddaughter was married to Aniruddha. Yes, correct. Rukmi's granddaughter was also married to Aniruddha. At that time only, Balaramji was playing the dice and got angry and killed Rukmi.
Yes, that will come up later. I'll be taking that class.
Okay.
See, this marriage between cousins, it was there in even
very
Krishna's
prevalent,
time.
yeah, very prevalent. Okay, so if there is nothing, then maybe I can start. I can start the.
माता जी जब भी वो दोनों वापिस आए प्रद्युम्न और रति, जब भी वापिस पैलेस में आए कृष्ण के, तो वो रति का नाम हो ही रहा था, रति की दूसरा नाम था
मायावती.
प्रद्युम्न
मायावती.
मायावती. अच्छा, ओके.
Okay.
This is lost and found story. हम देखते हैं ना पूरा lost and found story.
Very exciting. The story is very exciting.
Yes, Mataji. Thrilling, excitement, emotions, and everything is there.
Yeah. The next Chamantaka is even more very ecstatic, very dramatic. Chamantaka Jewel. I think next week we'll be seeing that.
Next weekend, I'll be covering that.
Yeah, so that is very, very full drama. It's full, everything is there in that. Chamantaka.
In that, Akrura role is so insignificant. Like, हमें तब पता चला था कि अक्रूरा जी ने लिया था.
Yes, I'll be covering why Akrura, being a great devotee, why did he behave like that? All the things will come up in that class.
Yes,
Prabhu.
We are waiting for that, Prabhu. Okay, so let's continue. So in this we see the nature of relationships. The relationships in that story, the story is over, as all of you know. Now we are just going through the different themes. So the relationships, especially between Pradyumna, Rukmini, Rati, what does it illustrate? There is a complexity of human emotions. That Rukmini's maternal affection for Pradyumna and Rati's love for him as portrayed by Kamadev reveals how love can transcend roles and identities. Right? Because Kamadev was an expansion of Cupid. And then you can also consider him as Vibhuti of Lord Vasudeva, an expansion of Lord Vasudeva also. And then at that time, he had been burnt to ashes by Lord Shiva's anger and was reborn as a part and parcel of Pradyumna from the womb of Rukmini. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is emphasizing that authentic relationships are based on deeper spiritual connections rather than superficial appearances or roles. Right? So we just don't see only the superficial roles, but we also see the depth of the authentic relationship. This encourages us to cultivate meaningful connections with others based on love and understanding. So we don't just see even our relationship on a superficial level. So we don't see just like, okay, let's say a friendship, like you're a friend with somebody. So your friend. So we don't just see only the friend and his physical abilities and our normally what do we expect from relationship? It's always I want something from you, and that is what is always the basis of any relationship based on. But now if we want to cultivate meaningful connection with others, then we should base it on love and understanding. We should not always think of we always think of our benefits. We always think of ourselves. Instead, we should now cultivate, if you want to cultivate meaningful connections, what we should do, we should look at on a deeper basis. We should look at spiritual connections, and we should base it on love and understanding. So when the word understanding comes, it's a very deep word. We can just say superficially understanding, but if you really look into it, understanding word is a very deep word. When you understand a person, you will never find any fault with him. You will never find, and that will never find any fault. So whatever that person is doing, you will not blame him at all, blame him or her at all. You will always, this way, your love will transcend, and it will have a meaningful connection. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on Pradyumna's history, what does it do? This is a conclusion, that it invites us to reflect on the nature of love, identity, and the divine play of life. Each theme carries profound lessons. We saw that resonate with our own experiences, encouraging us to seek more profound truths behind our identities. So we have to seek all this. So we have, our identities are superficial, then we have to go deep. We have to go deeper, and we have to see who actually we are. What is our connection with Krishna? And all the other jivas also, what are their connections with Krishna? Then when we see that in a very broad aspect, then we know how we are connected with another jiva. Actually, the whole thing is central point is Krishna. So how we should embrace love in its many forms, understand that the significance of our life journey, also understand that Krishna is in the center, and by recognizing these themes, we can cultivate a more meaningful and spiritually enriched life. So when we keep Krishna in the center, we will not see any problem with anybody else. So you may think, oh, he's hurting me or she's hurting me with some very harsh words, but we will not see it like that, because now Krishna is in the center, and we are not expecting anything from anyone, as in materially. And then when somebody says something to us, which is very deep, sometimes hurts deeply, but at that point of time, now we try to understand that person's, whatever his background or her conditions or her things may be, in that, because we are all humans, right? We are all prone to mistakes. We are all prone to so many things. And if some things like that happen to us, then we will be, because we are spiritually enriched, therefore we will not see it on a material platform, on a superficial platform. We will forgive them, forget it, and we will also understand. So I always like this word understand. So when you understand somebody, then there is no problem at all in any kind of relationships, because we understand. The understand word has got a lot of meaning. So when you understand that person's situation, when you understand somebody's situation, when you understand somebody's heart, when you understand somebody's mind, when you put yourself into their shoes, then everything is so smooth that you will not feel any kind of disturbances, because you will be understanding that person, because you are spiritually enriched. So now some instructive questions and their answers from this whole episode. So what is this? Let us go with the first question. What specific divine qualities does Pradyumna embody that reflect his identity as Kamadev? So Pradyumna is Chaturvyuha, but from his one of the Chaturvyuhas, but then how is he reflecting his identity as Kamadev? The answer is, Pradyumna embodies qualities such as compassion, devotion, capacity for deep emotional connections, which are characteristics of Kamadev, who is a god of love. So these divine qualities manifest in how he navigates relationships and challenges, highlighting the importance of love and emotional strength. So even in other episodes, you will see in future also in Dwarka Leela, you will see how Pradyumna is so very subservient to Krishna. So subservient that he will not even look Krishna eye to eye. He will just looking at Krishna's lotus feet all the time. So subservient, he feels that as a servant, as a son of Krishna, I am so indebted to my father. My father is the greatest. My father is everything to me. But he doesn't, he's so much full of respect towards Krishna. He doesn't even lift his head. He will always be looking at the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is the mood of Pradyumna. That is the love he shows. He is deeply in love with Krishna. So in what ways can the concept of divine pastimes reshape the second question is, how do the different forms of love portrayed in the story impact on the characters' interactions and growth throughout the narrative? So the different forms of love in the story is maternal love, romantic love, love expressed through friendship and duty, enhance the what does all this do? They enhance the depth of the characters' relationships. So they demonstrate how love can facilitate personal growth, foster resilience in the face of adversity, and create a network of emotional support that enriches their experiences and choices. So we saw all this happening in Pradyumna's case, where all kinds of love came in different forms, and how he was, as a part of Pradyumna, which is Kamadev, he was enhancing the depth of these characters and how he was enhancing their relationships. So the third question is, in what ways can concept of divine pastimes reshape our understanding of life's challenges and experiences? So how that can happen? How can we understand? Again, the understanding word is there. It's a very useful word. And how does it help us? Then the first answer is, the concept of divine pastime suggests that life's challenges are a part of larger playful divine design. So we should think that all the things which we are for suffering or enjoying or whatever, or challenges which are come, this is a part of a big design. So we are just like a jigsaw, when you form a jigsaw puzzle. So we are one of those part of that puzzles, and there's a huge, beautiful design which is going to form, and we are a part of that design. That's all. So then this understanding encourages individuals to view their struggles not as mere difficulties, but as meaningful experiences that contribute to their growth and purpose. So anything happening to us, we should think that it is something for me to understand, realize, and experience, and we have to think that it is helpful for us in our growth, and it is purposeful. It is not just like that. Just like that, I'm suffering. Just like that, I got this disease, or just like that, I got this bad experience in my life with my partners, or friendship in life. No, there is a greater purpose, and for this, and that is for our own growth. Then the third answer is, embracing this perspective can help one navigate life's obstacle and with a sense of joy and acceptance, recognizing that there is a deeper significance behind every experience. So again, it's reiterating the same thing, that there is a deeper experience behind everything we are facing in life, and how we should navigate. If we understand, and then with a sense of joy and acceptance, we will take it, and we will navigate our life obstacles in a very wonderful way. So the same thing, actually this is so what specific divine qualities does Pradyumna reflect? We just covered all this. Okay, thank you all very much. We covered all the points. So if anybody has anything to contribute, welcome. Thank you all very much for attentive hearing.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Raksha Mataji.
Thank you so much for so wonderful class, Mataji.
Thank you.
So
Thank
wonderful
you.
class. Mataji, जो question number 3 हमने किया, ये last question number 3
Yeah, Mataji.
life challenges and experiences.
हाँ Mataji.
माताजी, अगर हम डिवोटी है तो थोड़ा हमें पता चलता है अभी के ये समझ सकते हैं, आप बोले जो अंडरस्टैंड करो,
हाँ
मतलब वो समझ
हाँ
मगर जो डिवोटी नहीं है, मतलब जो वो पाथ पे नहीं चल रहा है,
हाँ
तो जो वो ये जो उनको मिजरी आती है, जो सफरिंग आती है,
हाँ
तो वो उसकी वजह से वो फिर
Overwhelming.
वो मतलब एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते।
नहीं
जॉयफुल,
कर
आप बोले जॉयफुल एक्सेप्ट
हाँ
करो, एक्सेप्ट करो, तो वो उनके लिए फिर इतनी डिफिकल्टीज और बढ़ती है।
हाँ
अगर डिवोटी होते हैं तो उनके लिए थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, क्योंकि दे अंडरस्टैंड कि भाई हम एक
बस
पार्ट एंड पार्सल है, और
हाँ
हम
फोकस
अगर फ्यूचर में कुछ अच्छा होने वाला होगा,
हाँ
सहन कर लो। मगर हम सहन कर सकते, मगर जो डिवोटी ये पाथ पे नहीं चल रहे, वो सहन नहीं कर सकते, तो उसकी वजह से दे सफर सो मेनी इश्यूज, मेंटल इश्यूज, हेल्थ
yeah
इश्यूज।
depression and all.
इज इट राइट माता जी?
Yeah Mataji, very right. But they will also find solution in material ways. So they will find material psychiatric doctors.
हाँ, यस यस।
They will try to find solutions, but they will not get a permanent solution. Kuch na kuch lacking will be there. And this is a permanent solution. This when we sing, when we keep Krishna in the center. Charu Prabhu would like to
So
say
it means spirituality is must everywhere, मतलब in our life, everyone life, spiritual अगर नहीं है तो फिर बहुत डिफिकल्टीज है।
something. Of course.
अब हम अगर
क्या
कृष्णा
होता
को
है कि honestly, every experience we get in this life, there's something to learn out from it,
Yeah.
But I would be the first one to admit when difficulties come like that, even being a devotee, sometimes very difficult situation happens and you get disturbed, but one nice thing about being a devotee, immediately you take shelter of Krishna.
Yeah.
Immediately you take shelter of Krishna.
Yeah.
That is one nice thing about it. Just because you are a devotee, it does not guarantee that the difficulties will not come. Devotees
Yes.
की लाइफ में बहुत difficulties आती है, बहुत difficulty आती है, and sometimes the pain is so unbearable, extremely unbearable. But as a devotee, immediately we take shelter, we begin chanting. So that's why Mata Kunti Pada, what it is there? Giving more difficulties. So what it means, it brings me closer to Krishna. And
Yes.
remembering Krishna means we don't have to come back again in this miserable world,
Yes.
And we also wish for others also like that. This is material world. It is designed to give difficulties. It's a learning. It's like a kid learning to bike. Bike has that training wheels, right? When you're learning. So this is like that in the material world. It's designed. So you have to accept difficulties will come.
Yes.
But you need to remain composed.
Yes.
Remain composed. And that's easier said than done.
Yes. Superficially, we can remain composed, but internally, turmoil is going on.
Yeah, yes.
Unless and until we.
Easier said than done.
Yes. So until and unless we really surrender to Krishna and we understand that Krishna is the center. So everything we have to remember, Krishna is in the center, Krishna is in the center. The more and more we convince ourselves about being part and parcel of the whole game of Krishna's design. Krishna has designed something and I'm just a part and parcel. Once you surrender to Krishna, Krishna takes charge and everything is happening is under the Krishna's control. He is doing this. All this while, if you are not a devotee, Maya is there in control. Maya is controlling all your karma, activities, everything. But once you surrender to Krishna, you become a devotee, you're chanting your rounds and surrendering your life to Krishna. At that time, Krishna takes over. So anything happening to us in that now that if we are surrendered, anything happening to us, any misfalls, anything downfalls, anything is happening to us, it's a game plan. It's Krishna's design, and we are only a portion of that Krishna's design. So something bad happens also, we just have to be very, very, I know that turmoil is there because we are humans. Turmoil will be there inside our heart, and composure is there from outside because we have to show people that we are composed. But turmoil is not something which is not
internally.
happening. It is happening.
Internally, no?
Yeah, internally turmoil is happening. But that turmoil has to be composed by taking the shelter of Krishna and reminding ourselves again and again and again and again that we are part of the design of the Lord, the design plan. Krishna has a very beautiful tapestry, and we are just a portion of that. And we have a position. It's not that imagine, you have a jigsaw puzzle and you have solved the whole puzzle, but one hole is missing. It will not look nice, right? That means we have a part in Krishna's puzzle. We have a part. It's not that we are insignificant totally and gone, downtrodden, nothing. No, we have a part, and we have to play that part. We have to go and sit in our proper position in Krishna's jigsaw puzzle. So that is our goal in life, actually. So we should not become dejected or anything. All these things which are happening in our material lives, this is because of so many karma, so many lifetimes, so many problems. That's all right. We take it. We don't say that we are not affected by it. Yes, we are affected, but we don't get overwhelmed by it. Just like when Arjuna's son was killed, Abhimanyu was killed, Arjuna was crying helplessly. And he said, Krishna, how this is happening? You are the Supreme Lord. How this can happen? How can this happen? My son is dead. Then Krishna told him that, you see, you are okay. It's okay to cry. Vent out your feeling. But who is this personality? This personality is the son of the moon god. And he came only for 16 years. He said, when everybody was told, okay, come down and you have to take birth in Krishna's pastimes. And he was also coming down. He was also asked to come down. He said, I like my life here as a son of the moon god. I don't want to go and become a son of some mortal being. So then they convinced him, okay, for 16 years. Okay, he said only for 16 years. After 16 years, I don't want to stay in this earth. I want to go back to my heavenly planets. So can you imagine? This is all happening. We are thinking, oh, Abhimanyu is killed and such a huge thing, and Arjuna is crying and Draupadi is crying and everybody is crying. But here he is happy to go back to his heavenly planet because this is 16 years he has finished his work, his job in this material world. So like this, if you think of all these things, let us say, as ourselves or anybody in our life, our father or mother or child or daughter or husband or wife or whoever, they are also a part and parcel of the entire big plan. So if we cling on to them thinking that this is only the lifetime and this is only our relationship and this person is only related to me and this person only has gone away from me, how can we think like that? It is a part of a big game plan of Krishna. That person has gone and he has done his duty here and has gone and he has become a part of the jigsaw puzzle of Krishna and he has attained his place there. Now it is our job to go and join Krishna's game plan. We have to compose ourselves in that way. We have to put Krishna in the center and only think of Krishna and me, my relationship with the Lord, my relationship with his game plan. As long as we are here, okay, we will do our duties by having nice, good relationships like Pradyumna had, good relationship with his wife, with his mother, with his friends, all that good relationships we will have. But we will not be overwhelmed with all these relationships. We will not be overwhelmed. We will only be concentrating on our relationship with Krishna, going back to that jigsaw puzzle and going and serving the Lord in his mission, in his spiritual world.
Thank you, Mata. So wonderful explanation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful,
Because it is
wonderful
a real
explanation.
connection, Mataji. It is. We should apply it. हमें apply करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि this is a real world. हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा और सब apply भी करना पड़ेगा. सही है, Mataji. Thank you.
When we do all this lessons, right? Like today we did Pradyumna's lessons. So when we do all these lessons, right, we're getting so many instructions which Krishna is
Yes,
trying to give us.
Mataji. Yes, ma'am.
So thank you, Charu
पर
Prabhu, for the
Mataji,
wonderful
but
slides.
being a devotee somehow कृष्णा हमें थोड़ी strength दे देते हैं, सहन करने की
Yeah,
शक्ति भी
exactly.
देते हैं.
Devotees
वो
are
एक
totally a different ball game because Krishna is like in control. Krishna is the one who's controlling. If something happens, like we lose our dear ones, okay, like our father or mother or whoever we lose, and we have very great difficulties in our own lives. We have to undergo so many difficulties in our life. So all these things, don't think that this is Maya's doing. This is Krishna's doing. This is Krishna giving us these challenges. Because we are devotees, so we cannot think Maya is giving us challenges. No, this is Krishna is giving us our quickly doing our karma. Get rid of your karma quickly, and you come back to me. So this is happening in devotees' case. So we have to remember that there is a great difference between devotees having challenges in life and normal karmis having challenges in life. Their challenges is karma. Our challenges is Krishna.
so wonderful.
Thank you, Mataji. Let's
Yes,
take
Mata.
questions. Let's
Very
just
good.
take questions.
But
Amazing class, Mataji.
Thank you.
Dandavat Pranam. Such a wonderful class. Mataji, from a point of a non-devotee, from a point of a neophyte devotee, Lord Krishna married Rukmini, who is herself embodiment, who is herself Goddess Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Goddess Lakshmi is not a Jiva Tattva.
No,
But being married to the god,
yeah.
she is undergoing suffering, as in child gets kidnapped, and she's married to the all-powerful,
Yeah.
omnipresent, omniscience Lord.
Yeah.
Child gets kidnapped, and
Yeah.
a material mother, earthly mother only suffers so much for a child. How
Yeah.
much she might have suffered. Although it's a part of a drama. Yes, it is a part of a drama, but we all get caught up in the drama.
Yeah.
So then what is the point of, like, your earthly life also happiness and misery, there also happiness and misery, then why should I aim for spiritual life?
Okay. Now, in case of Rukmini, okay, this is my understanding which I derived. If you have a different understanding, anybody else like Sharad Prabhu or Charu Prabhu also can say. But my understanding is that this is happening, and especially this which you brought about, that Rukmini Devi is a Shakti Tattva, and she is. So before coming, already they have decided. It's just like a drama. It's a game happening. So let's say you have been invited to act in a drama, and you have been told before coming to the drama stage that you are a mother and your child is going to be kidnapped, and you have to do this crying scene. Will you then say, no, I am some so and so, I am some Samta Gurnani, and I am not a child, I am not the mother of this child, and I cannot cry? No, you will cry because that is your drama scene that you have to do, and you have agreed to come to this stage to do the drama, right? So like that, all the characters who have come to Krishna in Krishna's pastimes are all like that, are all characters who have come there to do this drama, and they have agreed. So they are coming and showing this, showcasing these scenes. And why are they doing all this? They are doing all this to give us lessons. Krishna is giving all this. So today's whole class we learned about lessons, isn't it? So many lessons we took. So although Rukmini Devi was overwhelmed, she was crying like a Kurari bird, crying for her son. Although this is, then we can say, hey, yes, Rukmini Devi is crying. I am also crying. I am also having the emotions. She is also having. She is not a stone. She is not a saying that she is like a divine mother. She is a Shakti personified. So she cannot cry.
Yes,
So
Yoga Maya is also assisting in this drama.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice. Yes, Yoga Maya is assisting in this drama. So whatever happens, what we see, somebody asked a question like, how is it that we don't understand Krishna, and then gopis also, they also don't accept Krishna as a supreme lord or whatever. So that gopis not accepting Krishna as a supreme lord and accepting him as one of them is Yogamaya, whereas we not accepting Krishna is a Mahamaya. For the time being, it's like that. There's a vast difference. There's a vast difference. But for our learning, for our teaching us how to react, how to accept everything, for that they come down. They come down and they perform pastimes. That is why today's whole thing was called as Leela. Leela is pastimes. So pastimes are happening for our benefit. I hope I've answered your question, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Lord Krishna is a big Leela there. He wants Leela here also. He wants Leela there also.
There is Nitya Leela, and here what is happening is for us, for conditioned jivas. For
So
us,
he
it's also
is known as Leela Purushottam.
Leela Purushottam.
Yes. Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Pranam. Thank you very much. So
Krishna likes excitement, Mataji. Excitement hona chahiye.
Yes.
We had a great, I personally can say that, enjoyed your presentations.
Thank you,
Series
Prabhu.
of lectures. Now we'll be beginning next week onwards from Sharad Prabhuji.
Yes.
Exciting. So it's really for me, it gives a special pleasure. I feel so relieved now. This project is in good hands now. If tomorrow I have to leave, I'll be very happy. Actually, you are going to take care of everything now. Yes. So thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments for Mataji?
No question, Prabhuji, but
Mataji,
wonderful.
Prabhuji, please carry on.
Yeah, wonderful session.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Mataji, thank you very much, Mataji. That's it. Yeah.
And any
Mataji,
comments?
what is the background of
Prabhuji?
Sambarasur?
Shambharasur's background? I don't know, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay.
The comments, Prabhuji, from my side is the last 15 minutes, Rachana Mataji said few things. He's like, whatever happens in our life is a part of the plan of Krishna. Okay, so if we are in that attitude, we'll not feel bad, Prabhu. Okay, we'll not have sad. We just move on. They are really golden words from me. Thank you, Mataji. Rachana Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. It's not my words, golden words of the Bhagavatam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
माता जी ऐसा भी कहा जाता है कि गॉड जो है हमें कुछ अपनी तरफ से कुछ नहीं करते हैं, वो जो भी हमें पनिश करना है या जो कोई कुछ हमें कोई हैप्पीनेस हमें मिलनी है, तो दैट इज ड्यू टू आवर कर्मा ओनली इन द पास्ट लाइफ.
Yes, Mataji, that is a fact. But when you surrender to Krishna, karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. So when you bhakti bhajam, when you surrender to Krishna and you do bhakti, then your karma nirdhati, it will be uprooted. So that is also possible, Mataji. So it is possible that Krishna can take away everything, whatever he wants to give us. So that is also possible. And Krishna wants to give us the quickly finish our karmas and bring us back. That time also, that is also possible. So it's all left to Krishna. So whatever, that is why I said whatever happens is happening because of Krishna. We have to take it as prasad. We have to take it as prasadam. That this is Krishna's prasadam. Krishna has given me happiness, prasadam. Krishna has given me difficulties, prasadam. Krishna has given me challenges, prasadam. So if we take it like that, then we will not feel any problem in life.
तो हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स भी कम हो जाती हैं.
Yeah.
प्रॉब्लम्स भी कम हो जाती हैं.
Okay.
और माता जी ब्लीस का अनुभव भी होने लगता है थोड़ा थोड़ा.
हाँ. And
क्योंकि
attachment
फिर
to the
वो
Lord.
हम लोग को वो अफेक्ट नहीं करता है कि भाई वो चलता है.
Affect भी नहीं करेगा, and then you will be attached to the Lord. So more attachment.
Now let's hear from Sharad Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for taking so much time. Hare Krishna.
You're good.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
She has explained so nicely, especially with the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. I'll just give some of the points which we discussed, my views on that. Archana Mataji told the story of Sambarasura and Mayavati. It is given in the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, but originally it is given in Matsya Purana also. Then the next is ego and pride, which in the recap we are learning ego and pride of Jarasandha and the other kings. Now, please remember that as I told you earlier also, before this Swayamvara there was another gathering beforehand in which all the kings had come, and in which each one of them, it is given in the Harivamsa Purana, each one of them gave a speech, long speech, in which they recognized the divinity of Krishna. They knew who Krishna was. They knew how he killed the demons when he was very young. He lifted the Govardhana, all that. But still knowing that because of their pride, because of their ego, they wanted to, they decided to contest him. And you know what happened at the end. Then Mataji was referring to Yudhishthira also. Just 2 sentences about Yudhishthira. You know the story of Mando Muni, how he cursed the Yamaraj. Now Yamaraj said, okay, I'll agree with you. Whatever you curse me, I'll accept it. But don't make me a king, a Dasiputra or a Sudra in the material world, because it is very difficult for them to avoid sins. Now Mandamuni said, no, I want to make you all these 3. And he appeared in all these 3 forms. How? As king, he was Yudhishthira. As Dasiputra, he was, anybody knows what was he?
Vidura.
Vidura. And as Sudra?
Karn.
No, as Supak Valmiki. That story is different. I will not tell you the story now. There is no time. Then another very interesting thing came during the recap regarding dharma. What do we understand by what is our dharma? One way we say what is given in the Shastras. That is very clear. But another thing also we have to remember, what Krishna says, that is dharma. Like he gave the orders to Arjuna in the Mahabharata war, and that's how all the 3, that is Drona, Bhisma, Karna, they all were felled because Krishna ordered so. That means what Krishna says, that is right. Then another 2 examples I will give from Ramayana. Now you know why Lord Rama killed Ravana, because he had kidnapped Sita Devi from him. That was the reason. Now, if that is a fault, then how come when Vali was killed, his wife Tara became a wife of his brother, that is Sugriva. And after Ravana was killed, his wife Mandodari became wife of Bibhisana. Now, all these things, Krishna, he does not see. He does not see the faults of the devotees. That is what we were talking. He will see the faults of the non-devotees always. And that's why there is a verse you must be remembering. It says, Ahalya Draupadi Kunti Tara Mandodari Tatha Pancha Kanya Smaran Nityam Mahapataka Nasanam. All your sins will be eradicated if you take the names of Ahalya, Draupadi, Kunti, Tara, Mandodari. Now Ahalya, you know the story. How she got involved with Indra, and thereafter what happened, she was saved by, rescued by Lord Rama. Draupadi, she married 5 husbands. Kunti, the Pandavas, they took birth from her, rather three of them, but that was through the demigods. Tara, just now we saw, Mandodari we saw. These are all in the Shastra because they are accepted by the Supreme Lord. That means whatever the Supreme Lord says, that is what is to be done. Whatever the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna does, all that not to be done by us. This has to be remembered by us. He does Rasa Leela. Nobody can do this. Nobody should try this. Anybody who tries, he is finished. Like these things, whatever he has said in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavatam, we should obey that. And whatever he says, we should obey that. That is what we should always remember. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, any last points?
I'll request the devotees to see the latest schedule of the classes. Next weekend, of course, mine is starting. Thereafter, Santa Mataji, then Prasad Prabhuji, Sanjeev Prabhuji, Nitya Sakhi Mataji. Like this, the series goes on. Please see the dates. There are certain minor changes in that. Hare Krishna.
So, let's conclude the class then. Haribol.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। तो नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, प्रह्लादलाददायिने, प्रह्लादलाददायिने, हिरण्यकशिपु वक्षः, हिरण्यकशिपु वक्षः, शीलटङ्कानखालय, शीलटङ्कानखालय, इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह, इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह, यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह, यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह, मही नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह, मही नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह, नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे, नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे, तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गम् दलिताहिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम्, केशवधृता नरहरिरूप, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय नरसिंहदेव, जय नरसिंहदेव, नरसिंहदेव, जय नरसिंहदेव, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव, 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। श्री भक्ति विद्या शिक नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So, I wish you all a wonderful week ahead, and then we are looking forward to hear from Sharad Prabhuji, a series of lectures. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhai ji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Dandavat
Sarat
pranam,
Prabhuji,
dandavat
Hare
pranam
Krishna.
to all.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Thank you all devotees. Thank you, Chansanji Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Char Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sanjeev Prabhuji. Thank you. And thank you, Sharad Prabhuji, Prasad Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody's done wonderful job.
Thank you.
Great class, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you so much.